Welcome to LearnitLen, part 3 of HTML5 and CSS3. Hello guys, and welcome to LearnitLen, ready for part 3 of HTML5 and CSS3. So, last episode we were talking about image and how we can get it, its width and height sorted out. So what I'm going to show you now is various things you can do with HTML. So let's just get rid of height, because with a width by itself, it normally sorts out its aspect ratio, and what that means is that it changes its height in order to fit with its width. So let's go for something else. Let's try border, and you type in border equals speech marks, and let's say 5px, for instance. Yes, Control S. Control and save. We go Control and R for refresh, and there we have it. We have a border. Very fancy. Ooh, pretty. Now let's try something else. Let's try something else that could be quite handy. Let's do title equals speech marks, and what should we say? Welcome to LOL. Control save, refresh, and then if we hover over, welcome to LOL. Beautiful. Let's just get rid of border, and let's keep the title just to make ourselves look fancy. Control and save. There's also one other thing which you can do, which is ahref, which is when you can put a link on the image, and when you click on the image, it will take you back to wherever you want it to be. So, for instance, if you've got this over here, you can click on it and it will take you to the main or the home page, which we're already on. So let me just click on moments. If my computer loads up, which it's not doing because it's lagging at the moment, but who cares? We don't need it at the moment. Anyways, that is what an ahref is for. And now what I'm going to show you is something else. And that is basically how to edit the header. Now the header is, as you can see, is like this. So on Twitter we could click on moments, and you could also have something a bit like this where you've got a vertical header which basically drops down on the side like that, and that can be done, and I might show you it later, but for now I'm going to show you this one, which I prefer, which looks a lot prettier. Anyways, there are two ways to do this. You have something called OL and UL. OL is ordered and UL is unordered. Now to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to press enter, space, like so, and then we're going to type in bracket nav, close the bracket, and then we're going to have an ending nav. Oops, sorry. By putting a dash before the nav. Gonna go back up, press enter once again, press spacebar, and we're gonna type in UL, press enter. We're gonna end that with UL, like so. Gonna go back up, press enter, press spacebar, but let's do it a few more times just so we can make it a bit more neater. And we're gonna type in LI. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to type in bracket a href, which, as I said, is when you can put a link on something, equals speech marks and brackets. We're going to type in home, like so. We're going to end it with dash, A, close brackets, and then we're going to open brackets, Li, but we're going to put a dash before the Li once again. So like you can see, we've got open brackets for Li, open brackets for ahref, and then close brackets for ahf, and close brackets for Li. Now, one thing that I got confused on is that you always must make sure that if you're going to open a new bracket within a bracket, for instance this ahref, then you have to close it off within this bracket. So for instance, ahref is closed off within Li, just to make sure, because you can't have this part here, the closed off ahref, on the outside of here, otherwise it just looks like you've tangled things up. So always make sure you keep it nice and neat. And we're gonna put in a hyperlink reference later on into this, and by doing so you will then have everything sorted out. Let's copy and paste. So highlight everything, copy, press enter, Control and V, or you can right click and then press, click and paste, but I tend to prefer using the shortcuts because it makes your life easier. And like so. So on our home, what we're going to have is, we're going to click here and replace that with characters. Should I do lowercase? How did they do it? Nah, I'm gonna go with this. Sorry, let's change that to a capital letter. Alright, let's type in portfolio, and over here we're gonna type in merchandise. Perfecto. And basically with this we would have our links, our URLs basically, for each one of these that would be put into a href. So let's see if we can do that already. Alright, so let's go on, wrong one, web 4. Our index is here, and we right click properties, security, and you've got the index, copy, press Control and V, and we're gonna save it. We're gonna do Control and refresh, and there we have it. So now we have all these, so that later on we can stylize it to have it at the top. So if I click home, it's going to refresh it, but obviously it won't do much at the moment. We could also add in this URL into our image source, but that would be kind of pointless as we're already on our home page. But anyways, now that we've got that sorted out, and what we're going to do is we're going to create some pages later on for it to be responsive. So moving on, we're going to go down to our, we're going to go down here under the header. We're going to press enter, and what we're going to do is we're going to type div class equals main, ooh sugar, let's do speech marks, equals main, don't know why I did a capital, main content. We're gonna put this like so, and let me just think. Okay, we're gonna close the bracket, so we're gonna do div like so. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. So what we're going to do is we're going to type here, press enter, and we're going to do once again, my bad, div like so, and we're going to do div class equals, and then close brackets. Let's go to the speech marks and type in content. And like I said in the previous episode, we normally put a class onto something so we can stylize it later in our style sheet. So I'm going to press enter once again, and we're going to type in article like so, class like so, equals speech marks, and then we're going to close it off, and we're going to type in top content like so. So moving on, we're now going to type in header for a header, and close that off, and then once again we do H2. Now H2 is basically when we have text, and what we want to do is we want to make it stand out. So if you did H3 for instance, it would make the text smaller, and if you did H4 it makes it even smaller, and H6 blah de blah. So let me demonstrate by doing H1 for instance, and we're going to do an ahref equals, we're going to leave this blank for now with speech marks. Alright, now we're going to type in title equals stories to be told, speech marks, close the bracket, and then we're going to do first. So let me do capital, I like to be a bit pedantic. Ooh. First post, and then once again, if you remember, H1. Perfecto. So control and save. So if you do control and R, we have our H1, which is like basically you're saying header 1 almost. And sorry, if we were to change that to be H2 like so, control save, refresh, it makes the text smaller. So let's go back here, let's do H4, let's skip a bit, and then control S. You can always just click on these two if you want. It makes the text even smaller. And then, so let's go back to H2. Let's make the text just a slightly bit bigger. You don't want it too big though. Good. Now that's our first bit done. And what we're going to do is we're going to press enter, go back to this line here, and we're going to put in header in order to close this bit here. Yeah. Moving on down to our footer, press spacebar because we want to make it neat, and we're going to do open brackets, footer, my grammatical mistakes, close the bracket, press enter, press space to catch up with it, and press open brackets P meaning paragraph, and we're going to put a class to it so we can edit it later. And it equals speech marks, and type in post-info, and what we're going to do is close it off and type in produced by Len Suzuki Lay, and close off with a P. So if you want to be, you know, a real follower, you could always do it in my name, but If you want to make it your own, then do it in your own name. But obviously my name's cooler, so you know, just brushing off my shoulders. Press enter, and what we're going to do is we're going to close the footer and put the dash before footer, like so. Let's bring it back a notch as well, so it's in line. I like keeping things a bit OCD. We're going to move on to our content, like so, and we're going to do that. And what we're going to do is press enter, and what I like to do is we're going to just blabber on, and because I'm lazy and this is a tutorial, what we're going to do is, wait, let's close this, so that way when we insert something in the middle of here we've got anything to talk about. Let's just go on to, I don't know, let's do Blue Star Simon Wed on our Twitter. Ooh, my bad, I didn't necessarily want all this rubbish. Let's go to our HTML then. Just copy anything you see that's in a lot of text. So I could copy this, copy and paste, and Control and V, press Control and save, and we're going to press refresh, like so. Now that looks like a bunch of jargon, so let's do something better. Let's go on League of Legends. I don't even play this game, my friends do, and basically, you know, I've got no massive feelings for it. You know, I don't even play it. I've only played it once and I thought it was kind of boring. But anywho, sorry for all my League of Legends supporters if you're on here. Let's do that. Control and save, and it should have a bit more text. There we go. So as you can see, we've done the header, where we've had our produced by Len, the post class. It's just laid right on top of all this text, which is quite pretty. I do like it like that. Anyways, moving on. Good, now that we have all this, what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste, and we're going to go all the way to the top, and other than div class content, we're going to go to the article class top content and control copy, and then go down to the bottom, and then what we're going to do is press enter, spacebar, and control and V. Instead of top content, we should have bottom content, and title. Let's change that to second post. Sorry, it's to be total. Should we leave that? No, let's change it to second post. Let's have second here so that I can see that, and let's change this to, I don't know, let's do Donkey Kong because I'm weird like that. Control and S. Let's save that and see what happens. Control V, and there we have it. We have things that change. If you want to add text and stuff like that, there are all sorts of things that you could search on. This is a very good website. If you ever do want to pursue it as more of a career, then you should definitely have this saved on to your bookmarks just by clicking this button here, bookmark this page. And let's move on. You can add paragraphs to it. So if I did like so, and find where the beginning is. So, Control S, by going onto a site, Control R, it adds a paragraph over here, as you probably can see now, which does make it look neater. So I'm going to leave that there. If you guys want to copy and paste what I just told you, then please feel free. Anyways, let's go here, and we're going to type in. We've got a div there, and what we're going to do is we're going to type in div once again to finish that one bit off that we started off at the beginning, which is these two here, as you can see. Alright guys, well, I think that concludes the end of the tutorial. I've shown you how to add in these paragraphs and how to add these in, so these will be useful for later on if you ever do want to see what these do in part 4. Hopefully I'll be able to explain it then, or maybe in part 5, but for now we're just getting the content, and so far we're just focusing on this bit here. So in the end it will look a bit more like this. You'll have images here and so on. Anyways guys, thank you very much, and hope you look forward to part 4.